Welcome to Ordinary to Badass, episode number 364. In this episode, you're going to hear 3 reasons why Clementine Moss is so badass. Now, if you listened to the last episode, you probably heard Clementine is a spiritual author, the lead drummer of a band called Zepparella, and she is also an author. Okay, so I'm now offering a free leadership course bundle. If you're interested in that, ordinarytobadass.com/bundle. In that, you're going to get a resource that's called Navigating the Boys Club, your guide to success in a male-dominated profession. And even if you're not in a male-dominated profession, this will help you, I'm sure of it. And also chart your course. This is going to help you to set goals for what you want out of your career. And it's a fillable Excel sheet. And then define expectations, strategies for women rising in a predominantly male industry. So you could check those out, but then also on day 4, you're going to get a free bonus training. So ordinarytobadass.com/bundle if you are ready to rocket fuel your career. Okay, let's get to the episode.
Be confident, be bold, be authentic, but don't forget to take action. This is Ordinary to Badass, where our stories empower women to step into the spotlight of their own lives and pursue what they're truly passionate about. It's time to step into the arena and become more than just extraordinary. It's time to become a badass with your host, Marie Sonneman.
Welcome to Ordinary to Badass. Whether you're ordinary or badass, I'm so glad you're here. Today, we're going to talk 3 reasons why Clementine Moss is so badass. Now, the first reason is she recognized her personal power. You, my friend, have so much stinking power in you. So much power that you're probably not even recognizing. I think that's part of human nature, right? Where we don't recognize all of this goodness, all of this awesomeness, all of this badassery that we have within us. So I am giving a kudos to Clementine, and yes, let's clap my hands there. But giving a kudos to her for owning her power, owning who she is. It is so easy to get stuck in this trap of doubt, to not believe what we are worth, to not know who we really are, to not understand like all of the complexities or why we're thinking the way we're thinking. We often just think because we have a thought, then it must be true. It's got to be true, right? Except it's not. Our brain is a liar. It can tell us all of these crazy lies. And unless you do what Clementine did and you go and you investigate it and find out, is this really true? And really work through, like do the hard work to get to where you need to go, to realize like, no, I am a badass. I am worthy. I am enough. And so Clementine, she did a bunch of different things. She was kind of doing a lot of soul searching, trying to figure out how she could solve this problem. Clementine said, is there something that needs to be fixed? Ask yourself that. Is there something within you that needs to be fixed? So often we think that something needs to be fixed or something is wrong with us. And we do all of these soul searching things to figure it out. Or maybe we even numb ourselves, right? Alcohol, food, all the things. And so she really dug in, and that's how she, well, maybe I'm making that up. I was going to say that's how she got into her meditation practice, but that may not be true. But I know she really did turn to meditation, and I think she went to some shamanic meditation and really got into that so she could find her answers. Clementine said, what if you're perfect as you are? What if that was true? Imagine just being great, being perfect, not needing to have anything fixed and be good just as you are. How awesome would that feel? Clementine said she spent 3 years trying to work through the shame. She was experiencing it and it was hard, and she was doing meditation for those 3 years and really trying to work through it until finally she was able to. So like it takes work. So often we just want to like snap our fingers and have everything be perfect. But that's not reality. it takes work to go through our stuff, right? And to get through all of the BS that we tell ourselves. And a lot of times that is like sitting and being silent, being okay with being silent, being okay with hearing these thoughts, even if they make you feel uncomfortable. I'm not even going to pretend like I'm an expert at this, but I have spent a lot of time in the last couple of years meditating, way more than ever before in my life. So be like Clementine, try to sit with these feelings of shame. Clementine said she just sat with these feelings and allowed herself to just accept, okay, I'm completely unworthy. And she just was okay with that instead of trying to fight it or fix it. And then she had this feeling like, wait, no, I am worthy. I am worthy. So sometimes when we tell ourselves a lie and we sit with it, then the real truth comes out that you are worthy. You are a total badass. Don't believe the lies that you're telling yourself. We have all of these thoughts in our head that want to make us think that we're bad, that we're not worthy, we're not good enough. And actually, I would recommend a book, The Untethered Soul. And it's all about that. It's about the thoughts that pop up in our head and how we think it's true. Or maybe you see a car driving by on the freeway and it reminds you of your ex. And then after you see that car, it like puts you in your mood and you're like, ugh. And it just, the rest of the day can go down from there. Cause then you start thinking all these bad thoughts about your ex, all from seeing a car that looked similar to them or a car that cut you off that looks similar to their car. And it sends you down a rabbit hole. That's what our thoughts do. So don't be afraid to do like Clementine did and really sit with it, really investigate those thoughts to find out if they are true. The second reason why Clementine is so badass is because her pursuit of self-acceptance. Now, it is not easy to accept who we are or to accept our flaws or the mistakes that we've made in the past. That's not always easy. But Clementine full on went on a journey of self-discovery, which I appreciate. And she said, okay, something happened to her when she was 12 years old. And so she's worked her whole life, or she's had this over her whole life. So she worked to make a change. She was 12 years old. Now, I don't know how old she is today, but you know what? I'm willing to bet 20, 30, 40 years went in between there. And the longer you have something go on, the harder it is to change, or the more cemented we become in our thinking. We think like, oh, this has got to be true because I've thought it since I was a child. And maybe we don't actively think that, but it's kind of what is behind the scenes. It's what's going on. The things that are rooted in us since childhood, or the longer they're there, the harder it is to like get ourselves to maybe that's not true. Maybe I should look at that a little bit. Just because I believed it was true as a child doesn't mean that it's true now. Now, an example of this, say like when you were a child, you thought money was really hard to come by. And that's because your parents didn't have money when you were growing up. So you just assume their truth to be your truth. Your situation financially can be night and day different. But because it's something you were taught as a child, you grew up believing that same thing is true as an adult. And so it's something we have to examine. We have to look at. If you want to step into your personal power, like Clementine, you're going to have to examine the things that you believe and find out if they're really true, or if it's just something you've told yourself in the past it was true. Or like Clementine said, sometimes it's something that someone else told you was true and you just believed it. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what we do. When you're a kid, you just listen to what other people tell you, or you observe what your parents or those close to you are doing, and then you would think, oh yeah, that's just the way it is. That's normal. Even if it isn't normal, even if it isn't your truth. Maybe it's their truth, but that doesn't mean it's yours. So Clementine showed a lot of courage with accepting herself and pursuing that, and not just going with the status quo. We'll get to that here for number 3 too, about how she doesn't go with the status quo, because I love it. I think so often we are just taught to be good girls, to do what we're supposed to do, to blend in, right? Not make too many waves, keep everybody happy. How's that working for you? Now, I'm not even going to say that I'm completely removed from this because I fall into it all the time too, but it's what we're taught and it doesn't mean that it's true. So go ahead and make those waves. Do the things that you want to do. Do the things that, like, inside, that you're in your intuition or your gut are telling you that you want or you need. The thing is, the more that you can accept yourself, the more comfortable you're going to feel. My friend Andy Vargo has a podcast, Own Your Awkward, right? And that's part of his brand. It's like, own the awkward, words are hard. Own the awkward parts of yourself. The more that you can sit with that awkwardness or sit with the things that you're uncomfortable with, then there becomes like a confidence, like, oh yeah, that's how it is. I don't have to hide this. I don't have to cover it up. It is me. It's about accepting the weird, the awkward, the non-ordinary things that we think about ourselves. Or like, okay, have you ever heard a comedian that said something about themselves that you thought, like, it's pretty funny, right? Because they just blasted out what you were already thinking about them. So sometimes it just takes the edge off. If you already know what your thing is, what your quirks are, and you just accept it, you own it, you ride with it, you roll with it. And maybe because of that thing that happened to her when she was 12, or she had disordered eating, all of these things that she went through, she didn't accept herself. And maybe that was like the repercussion of it, right? The outcome of those horrible things had repercussions. So the fact that she was like, okay, I'm going to go and do the work on this. And she does accept herself and she loves herself. And what I really love is that she helps other people do the same thing. Not only did she learn it for herself, but she's like, okay, let me build a community around this. Let me help other people who are struggling with the same things. Let me help them get through it. Now that is badass. Taking something, learning it yourself, and then helping the next generation, helping the next people along who are going through the same things that you went through. And you can be a day ahead of somebody and still be able to help them, be able to teach them, because you have a day more of work, you have a day's worth of knowledge that they don't have. Okay, number 3. Clementine challenges societal expectations, and I love this. She is into meditation and rock and roll. And those seem wildly different. One is kind of hard, it's not kind of, it is. It's hard, it's loud, and the other one is soft and quiet and self-love. And so it seems like it's opposites, and yet she found the through threads. She found the commonality between the two. And also, you know what? I imagine if you are the drummer for Zapparella, that you start doing meditation and people are gonna be like, huh, that's weird, right? Because it's not what you see every single day. But that doesn't mean it's not a good thing. It doesn't mean that it's not needed. Just because you don't see people around you doing what you do or what you want to do doesn't mean that it should be an all stop. Doesn't mean that it's wrong or that it's a bad thing. It just needs you to bring it to the world. It needs your spin on it, your flair, your flavor, right? And so I love that Clementine was willing to step out of her comfort zone, to do the hard thing, to try something new that other people aren't trying. I was going to say that nobody else, I don't know if nobody else is trying it. I've just not heard of it between rock and roll and meditation. It doesn't mean it's not out there. But the thing is like, there are probably people doing rock and roll that want to do meditation or want solution to their problems. And then guess what? Clementine has it because she had the courage to step up and to talk about something different, to go against the grain, to go against the path that people normally are going, right? And Clementine said she even She even stopped caring like about her body image or about perfectionism, the things that she thought were expected of her from the outside world. She stopped doing that and was like, no, wait, that's not me. Or that's not right for me. What are you doing that's not right for you? What are you doing that you think you should do that maybe your parents would want you to do that you don't want to do? Or maybe it's family or loved ones or friends or your spouse, something you think people around you all want you to do, but it's not even something that lights you up. It's not even something that brings you joy. Look at those things, reflect on them. Ask yourself if that's really what you want. Because if it's not, if you're just doing it for the outside world, that is a losing battle. You're always going to fall short or always going to be unhappy or not feel good about it because it's not what you really want. Okay, quick recap, 3 things that make Clementine Moss so badass. Number 1 is she realized her personal power. Number 2 is she pursued self-acceptance. And number 3, Clementine challenges societal expectations. Okay, if you love this episode, if you love Clementine's episode, let her know. Make sure, go over and talk to her, right? Find her on social media and talk to her. Let her know what you thought of the rock and roll and the meditation, or if it made you think anything differently. And tag her on social media. Tag me at Ordinary to Badass on Instagram or Facebook. I'll make sure it gets to her, and hopefully I'll put it in the show notes so you can find it that way as well. But let her know there is so much power in letting people know when they have an impact on you. With that, we'll end our show. All the badass women out there staying in the arena, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, own it and get after it.
Now that you've listened to this episode of Ordinary to Badass, we want to hear from you. Go to our website, ordinarytobadass.com/podcast, and submit your own experience on how you took your life from ordinary to badass and get the chance to be on a future spotlight episode of the show. That's ordinarytobadass.com/podcast. While you're waiting for the next episode of the show, wipe off the sweat, dust off the dirt, and get back in the arena.